Hi, I'm Martha Raddatz, and this is On the Radar. Joining me today is General James Cartwright, and we're going to talk about some of the hot spots around the world. When we go forward in this new year, what worries you most?
The diversity of the hot spots and that they're spreading rather than consolidating. Africa is probably the biggest one that that you are seeing in the media right now with the Mali challenges, but that's not limited to Mali, and it has got the potential to be as violent, certainly, as what we saw in Iraq and Afghanistan, with even less governance than what they had in Afghanistan and Iraq.
We have heard the administration say al-qaida leadership is decimated, and we're getting out of Afghanistan. Osama bin Laden is dead. So what, in your view, has happened to al-qaida?
Generally, these things, these organizations, go through three stages. The initial stage is the iconic stage. You have a bin Laden or someone like that is a leader that people flock to. The second stage is one of consolidation and of survival. And they build the network's resilience by building replacements so that they can suffer losses and continue to move on. The third stage, which is where we are today for al-Qaeda, is called franchising. Groups that are of like mind spring up in other places, get resourcing and some leadership from the central core group, but they have an agenda of their own that's tailored to the local region. And they have to go out and build resourcing. So the kidnapping in northern Africa is generally the most attractive way they have of gaining dollars, earning money by bringing people in.
Let's talk about Syria. What do we do if they used chemical weapons?
It's lethal. It is that unhuman side of this thing, the moral side of this equation, that is probably the most worrisome. And the question is, do you want to intervene? We could obviously go in there in a large way. None is what anyone on the outside wants to have to do. You'd like to see this settled internally. But at some point, those weapons are there, and at some point, that regime may, in fact, see that as the only way they can save their regime, and they may start using them.
And the other thing is, 60,000 dead. People from the administration have said, this is unacceptable, this can't go on, Assad must leave. It's not happening. So what do you do?
This is difficult. The war we're seeing in Syria is the war of the past. It's a large genocidal type activity. The question here is, I think less, I hate to say this, but it's less about the loss of life and more about the loss of opportunity to recover from this thing. The longer this goes on, the less likely or the longer it's going to take to recover from it. And that's probably more worrisome than anything else. You're going to have a Syria which sits in a very strategic position, basically in a condition of disruption for tens of years.
In civil war.
Well, even if it's civil war's over, the solution between the parties is not likely to be, okay, everybody go home, we're all done fighting, and we're all going to get along. I mean, this is going to be a long fix afterwards.
Let's look at Iran. I feel like we have interviewed you time and time again, and that clock keeps ticking, but it hasn't come close to midnight yet, it doesn't seem.
We are on a confrontation path, as we try to work our way through alternatives. As you have a second term of our president and you have Netanyahu in place, you're basically at status quo from where we were. So the red lines, but at the end of the day, kind of an agreement that we really shouldn't have a nuclear-armed Iran.
At current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage.
Do you think that bomb that he put up there is still talking about spring then? That they?
My sense is that we won't know for sure, but certainly reasonable to assume that they could be there by then. And so the question now becomes, what is it that it will happen that has a verifiable footprint? Is it the launch? Is it an underground test that becomes then the decision point? But I've been saying a year or two for a while, and that's good. I mean, I like being wrong that way.
Yep. Thank you very much, General Cartwright. Again, that is General James Cartwright, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and an ABC News consultant, and we're so happy to have him help us look at all these hotspots in the world. I'm Martha Raddatz for ABC News and Yahoo News. I am at Martha Raddatz on Twitter. Have a good day.